Everybody tonight. This man was crashing out. He basically regrets voting for Trump. Let's see what he has to say.
You told me that you voted for President Trump in 2024. Do you regret that decision? ¿Te arrepientes esa decisión?
Yes, 100%.
Why do you regret that decision?
That's because it's nothing that's true. It's not true. You know, and the first time he says something, and now, example, in the Latino people, we see everything is different. And the first time example, he say he go to catch the delincuentes. Criminals, yeah. And right now, he don't follow to criminals. He go to specific to Latino people. Why Latino people? Because in the last Saturday, example, behind to me, I see the white people, the black people, and some people, Indian people, and Chinese people, and me. The DHS come specific to me and catch to me, not the other people, because don't care to other people, specific Latino people.
Okay, so I gotta let one of the feisty Latinas in here. Kimberly, what do you think about this? There are a lot of people coming out and saying this. Are you hearing this in California, that people that voted for Trump that are Hispanic and Latino is regretting their vote?
Yes. Not just Latinos, I think across the board, with regard to the immigration issue that person was speaking to, Trump is losing, at least he's becoming unfavorable with regards to the way he's going about with immigration, with regards to ICE and Border Patrol. But yeah, I do hear that a lot there are a lot of closeted Latino Trumpers. Everybody knows about it. Snow the Product made a song about it. It went viral. It was pretty funny. I don't think that we should shame people for voting for whoever they are, but there are a lot of people who were or are closeted Trumpers coming out and saying that they regret their vote for Trump. But I mean, I could have told them. Everybody knew he was talking about he was going so hard on immigration with regards to that specific topic that we could have known. I mean, I could have told you, but I also hear a lot of people, not just Latinos, but people regretting their vote for Trump. Not a lot, but it's starting to sway against him because of the strain of the economy. So I think a lot of Latino people are more really just hurt by the strain in the economy than the immigration.
Gray, as somebody that lives in one of the top Latino places in the country here in Florida, do you personally know any Latinos or Hispanics that say they regret voting for Trump?
Well, in Florida, it's more Puerto Ricans know that the guys are definitely still pro-Trump. But what I will say with what they're looking at, the polls, is that they were gerrymandering Texas, and they were depending on the Latino vote for that gerrymandering for them to secure more seats. So they're trying to backtrack on that those new maps now. So obviously with that specific demographic, they are worried that they no longer want to vote Republican, or they're no longer moving right. So that seems to be the trend as far as polls are concerned.
Yeah, and not only are they regretting voting for him for what is happening here in the States, people are also feeling the pressure for what's happening in Mexico.
Contra el narco no es opción. No es opción. Primero, porque está fuera del marco de la ley. Todos estos de la derecha que se llenan la boca de las palabras Estado de Derecho y defienden la guerra contra el narco, pues la guerra contra el narco está fuera de la ley, porque como lo dije o lo he dicho en varias ocasiones, es permiso para matar, sin ningún juicio. Y eso en México nadie o muy poquitos están de acuerdo. Está fuera del marco de la ley. Y segundo, no sirvió de nada más que para aumentar los homicidios en México y el nivel de violencia. Entonces, estos llamados autoritarios, porque son autoritarios, es ir hacia el fascismo.
So, Kamal, as somebody that lives very close to Mexico and California, what's your thoughts? Have you been hearing Latinos say they regret it? And what do you think about what's happening in Mexico?
Be honest, I ain't hear a Latino saying a goddamn thing. To be honest, they ain't really talking. They just, I'm telling y'all, it's San Diego. I mean, it rained a couple days ago, and it rained today, but there's too much sunshine out here. The Latinos out here, they not really giving a fuck out here in San Diego. To be honest, from what I've been seeing. But what the fuck was that? What the fuck was she saying? Was she blaming narco, or that was a bunch of word salad? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna let
She was saying.
I didn't understand him either.
Okay, I ain't the only one. I'm like, what is she
When
talking about?
people have an accent, I'd rather you speak in your native tongue. Like I can't. I'm sorry. I'm like I can't understand. I'm like, say it in the other language so I can get it, because I didn't get it either. I was laughing so hard at that because I was like, what?
What's her native language?
Spanish. He looked Mexican, so.
Oh, you're talking about the first dude. Okay.
No, I'm talking about the dude that was talking in English, and I was like, I don't know what he's saying. He was saying something about Indians, and I was like, what? I just I couldn't get it.
I didn't get what he was saying, but Skeptic, what is going on in Mexico? What was she talking about? I couldn't follow.
So, okay. So if you follow Mexican politics, and you've been following for a while, you understand that there is this new political party called Moreno. Well, I don't know how new it is, but Moreno basically has had two presidents. So they had I can't Manuel, whatever. He has a lot of names, and then this new Claudia Sheinbaum. These two presidents ran on ending corruption and going against the the CTELs. So while they were doing this, they brought down the homicides in Mexico, and they were able to do this by not accepting money from the CTELs. The two biggest political groups that have always pushed forward politics in Mexico are El PRI y El PAN. Okay, these two political groups came to the White House in February of 2025 and met up with this president. This president thought he could, because this is how Mexican politics have worked before. The wealthiest person, which tend to be connected to the CTEL, because those are the wealthy people in Mexico, tend to move politics and move politicians. And if you speak against them, they unalive you. There's no trials. That's what she was talking about. There is no taking them to the law because they control everything from trade down to lithium, down to petroleum, down there. And about 2 or 3 years ago, there was this big issue with gas and petroleum. They were stealing it from the people that owned the lands, that had we call them escrituras, right? Which is like the mineral rights to these lands. But the CTELs will unalive you. So you have to pay them in order to run your business. And so they own you in a way. When you see the past president and then this current president, who are both of the same political party, Moreno, come in and stop corruption, all of a sudden you see this uprise of groups that are American based because they're funded by American, like people from the United States are kind of funding them and are connected to the old political groups, El PRI, El PAN, okay, which have connections to all this stuff. So they tend to move with you getting paid off. And Mexico is not like America, right? Mexican judges, Mexican federales, they all can be paid off at any point, and they can release your information and you will be unalive. They will unalive reporters or will go missing. You'll never find them again because they came and brought information out against the government. In America, there is corruption. I see corruption. But one of the things about America is that you have the Department of Justice that is supposed to go after the people that are corrupt. And because you tend to have these switches back and forth between parties, and you have these, checks and balances, you tend to have more people get in trouble for it. When in Mexico, for the longest time, corruption and CTELs had power, this new political group has ended a lot of that. And I'll give you an example just quickly, and then I'll be done. One of the things that they were doing is they were taking livestock from farmers because they were using their farms to grow stuff. And they would take their livestock and make the farmers pay the CTELs. When this president, Claudia Sheinbaum, took office, she took all the livestock from these C-tails and gave them back to the people. There were literal videos of people going in and grabbing live chickens. You had to prove that somehow you had been done wrong, and it was given back to the people. So I think there's a lot of weird stuff going on. I also think that the fact that this government had already said they wanted to invade Mexico, and now all of a sudden there's this uprise of conservatism in Mexico. They have a new party of conservatism in Mexico. Here's the funny thing. Mexican politics isn't like American politics. We don't run the same. They're not the same thing. American politics have been a system that has worked for centuries and like decades, right? In Mexico, it's not like that. In Mexico, politics have been very much intertwined with C-tails and corruption and paying people off and taking from the people. And they have sold the Mexican, betterment of the people to be paid off. We've had governors, we've had presidents, we have, representatives of the state sell or be sold off or be paid off, and they will sell the lithium that is owned by the Mexican people, or they will sell the petroleum that is owned by the Mexican people. So Mexican people cannot trust in their governors the way that Americans can kind of trust in their governors.
Wow, that's a whole lot going on there. But I mean, from what I'm gathering, it's very similar issues there here, but I get the political system is different. Another reason, getting back to like American politics, because it's all intertwined, is DeSantis says he questions what is legal immigration. Let's listen to it.
You have some strain on the right that says, oh, no, illegal immigration is bad. Legal immigration, no matter what, is good. And wait a minute. Now, I'm not saying any of it's that it's all bad or what, but is bringing 10 million people from like Somalia and dumping them into Georgia, is that good because it's legal? I think you have to think critically about what are we doing with an immigration policy, and is it benefiting the American people? Is it helping to promote a strong American culture? We should never bring people into this country who hate America. And when I when I look at like Mindami's dad and listen to the stuff he's saying about America being the story, I'm like, why would we have wanted somebody like that to come? I mean, especially if you think America is so bad. So we have to be smart. It's lazy thinking to say anything that's legal must necessarily be good. Some of these companies game these systems with bringing cheap labor. So there's a whole host of things, but don't do what Europe did. Europe did a mass migration that was legal, that was intentional, and it's proven to be disastrous. So as conservatives, we must think.
So Enzo, what's your thoughts on what he said? He said a whole lot. Do you think that Hispanics should regret their vote, or do you think that they should have known that what Trump is doing now was expected?
I mean, I say it's everybody that votes for Trump and they regret their vote. You're regretting your vote for somebody who literally laid out what he was going to do on the campaign trail with immigration and is literally executing what he said on the campaign trail with immigration to a T. There's nothing different. Like, for anybody to think that that was just going to not affect them, I'm sorry, you're an idiot at that point. That's your fault. Regret your vote, whatever. You still voted for the fucking guy when he said he was going to do exactly what he's doing. And I agree with Ron DeSantis to some capacity with legal immigration. Are we really going to bring in another 10 million people just because they're here illegally and displace American citizens that could be taking these jobs or that could be working, that could be having these jobs? I don't agree. Just because it's legal doesn't mean just import as many fucking people as you want. Bring them in and bring them in droves like that. No, just because it's legal, I don't agree with that. There should be certain criteria how many people should be allowed into this country every single year legally.
Wow. Well, sorry for those that regret their vote. I understand why, having family